Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and everything in between. Welcome back to Geeks Watch. I guess I'm going to continue to review Arcane Season 2 episode by episode. So, Season 2, Episode 2, Watch It All Burn. The first episode of the season dealt with the aftermath of GEEXX's missile attack on the Council in Piltover. And it's mostly looked at from their point of view, from the Piltover point of view. Second episode, Watch It All Burn, is more about Vaughn's point of view, the underground. GEEXX killed Silco, who was the head of the basically criminal underground in Vaughn. And then because of the terrorist attack on the memorial service, spoilers for episode 1, there will be spoilers in this. I should have said that to start with. Because of the terrorist attack from one of the members of the criminal underworld against the memorial service for people who had died in GEEXX's missile attack, there's gaps in the criminal underworld. They are essentially fighting amongst themselves or discussing amongst themselves how best to distribute power and consolidate their power in the face of this power vacuum. I'm saying power quite a bit. One of them, a guy named Smeech, who looks like a rat with mechanical arms, or a goblin with mechanical arms, suggests just handing GEEXX over. Silco's old second in command, Svika, I'm pronouncing her name wrong, basically says they don't do that. They don't hand over their own. Smeech is not convinced. He's kind of a rat. He's an unpleasant character. Svika, or whatever her name is, sorry, I'm mispronouncing her name, despite being a member of the criminal underworld and being kind of a bitch, I have some respect for her. She has a code. She has a set of personal rules. She's not just a self-serving criminal. She has rules. So despite not liking her, I do kind of like her. She was a lot like Silco in that regard, in that, there are lines she won't cross. Silco is more of a monster than she is, but, she is the last of the old style criminal underworld. Silco was intelligent and calculating and a planner and played the long game. The other members of the underworld are not. They're just basically thugs. They're nothing but petty criminals who think themselves better than they are. Anywho, that little subplot takes up a good chunk of time. There is some guardsmen who were trying to hunt down the criminal underworlds. Vi and Caitlin and the other members do find GEEXX's sort of hiding place and causing her to flee. She does bump into Meech, who, now I'm forgetting his name, Smeech, whatever his name is. I'm bad with names. I apologize. A scuffle ensues. But I think that little whole section of, the restructuring of the criminal underworld of Vaughn takes up a good chunk of this episode. There is another subplot going on. In the aftermath of the attack, in the last episode, we saw that Jace saw Victor collapsed on the ground, carried him to their lab, and used the hex core to keep him alive. He didn't know what he did. He just basically brought the hex core over, so it was reacting to Victor and just kind of brought it over to him. The hex core took control and basically encased Victor in this cocoon of some kind. There's some kind of magical goop cocoon. Victor emerges from it, firstly panicking when he realizes he's stuck in a cocoon. His body is changed. He emits this blue glow. His body looks like a mixture of flesh, crystal, and machinery. When he picks up his cane kind of takes on the same characteristics as his body. His body has been infused with the hex core, so part machine, part magic. After his initial panic, he seems almost emotionless. He basically tells Jace that their paths diverged long ago and leaves. He winds up going down to the undercity of Vaughn, and winds up wandering into some shimmer attics, and somehow cures one of them by touching him. And he becomes this, the episode ends with him becoming somewhat of a messianic figure. There are some other subplots going on. There is, I can't remember the characters' names now, but the old little miniature guy who used to be on the city council and has since, in the season 1, he left. There's a sad side story with him. I'm sorry, I can't remember his name, but it had me in stitches. It was great. The fight when Smeech, whatever his name is, tries to capture GEEXX in the alleyway. I feel bad about screwing up the names. I really do. Unfortunately, I watched it a few days ago, and I should have done this right away when it was fresh in my memory. So it's probably because that's part of it. It's a couple days old. But I think this is a good continuation. There's still a lot going on. There's all these characters involved, and there's all these plot lines going on that are both separate but connected in a way that's really well written. I'm just impressed with the writing of the show. I've yet to see a bad written episode so far. There's been some inconsistencies with GEEXX's personality, but she's also crazy. So you can almost forgive that. Actually, I do. 99% of the time. It still occasionally, bothers me that she's inconsistent. But then again, like I said, she's nuts. So the fact that she behaves inconsistently is sort of in character. I know there's still several more episodes to go, but they're really hitting it out of the park here. They're really solid writing. The animation is still some of the best I've seen. I mean, I can't believe this came out of this kind of a studio. This is Disney Pixar quality, in my opinion. Well, maybe not Pixar quality, but damn, it's close. This is damn good. For a Netflix show, this blows almost everything that streaming services have created out of the water. Not everything. There have been a few really well done things. I reviewed Nimona. I reviewed Blue-Eyed Samurai and this. But so far, of the stuff I've seen on streaming services, those 3 are the best. The other animated stuff that I've seen doesn't come close to touching this stuff. I'll watch it for the animation alone. It is so good. And as long as the story writing continues to remain this solid, I'm going to keep watching. This has got me hooked in ways that few things have recently. Like I said, I watched, Vox Machina season 2, and I was kind of, I've been kind of chomping at the bit to watch the 3rd episode because I wanted to review this or do this review before. Well, had to decide if I was going to do individual reviews or wait till the whole rest of the season. But I guess I'm doing one at a time. That's why it took me a few days to do this, as I was trying to decide what I would do. But I'm going to keep doing episode by episode reviews. Now that I've done my review of this, I go watch episode 3. Because as you can see, my memory isn't the great for stuff. And I would overlap and forget. So this is my review. I liked it. It was good. Minor spoilers and crap. As always, thanks for watching. As always, this stuff is crap. And until next time, good hunting.